topic, accidents. So what do you do when you get in an accident? If you've ever been in one, do you feel like you did everything you needed to do? Do you think you missed out on something? Did everything go your way? Or do you feel like there was something missing that could have gotten you either your vehicle fixed, compensation, or just a reduction in your headache because of the issues that you came across for not doing all the steps? Now, I'm not an expert by any means. I have been in a few accidents. Some, yes, I've been the one that's caused them due to, engine malfunctions, road conditions, whatever it is. If you're the one that hit another vehicle, you're the one that caused an accident. And yes, I've been the individual that's been hit by other vehicles. I have been involved in hit and runs. I have been involved in regular traffic jam accidents. And for the most part, I've had a good experience with insurances, with my own, with others. I've been either compensated or my vehicles have been repaired and fixed without me worrying about what was going to happen, how much I would have to pay, was I going to have to pay out of pocket? None of that. So the first thing you should do, in my opinion, is call the police so you can have a police report. So you have an accident, don't ball up and cry. Make sure you call the police, non-emergency, get them out, file the report. You'll have a report. At times, this also helps settle some individuals, maybe not all, but some individuals might start to have some anger or some strong feelings towards the other driver. Whether they are at fault or not, those individuals can get road rage due to the accident, but having the police there can settle the issue down. And by that, I'll give you an example. When I was younger, I fell asleep at the wheel. I did rear end a vehicle, and I wasn't trying to deny it. I exited the ramp that I was supposed to take, but I just couldn't make it that extra 2-3 miles from the exit to my apartment. So I fell asleep at the wheel. I had somebody going probably 30-40 miles an hour, not a crazy speed, but that individual was, for the most part, just parked. They were getting ready to turn into an apartment complex. So you can imagine they were almost to a rolling complete stop because they were waiting for the gate to open, but they were on the street side, so I rear-ended them. And they were starting to get a little hostile. Now, when they saw that the police were already approaching, and I stated that I called the police, they completely changed their tune. They backed off because they knew that they potentially were doing something wrong just sitting there. Now, the statement was that they were waiting to get to the apartment, but why were they switching their tone from the time that I stepped out the vehicle till the time they found out that a police officer was on the way? Well, that's just a tip to help you out and just to make sure that there's something to report and submit to the claims department. Next thing you want to do is you can do it in the order that you want. You can either exchange information with the other driver or drivers if it's a multi-vehicle accident, or you can call the insurance to report it. But typically, if an individual hit you, you want to get their information so you can report it to their insurance. Now, you can open a report or start a claim, but close it just so it's on file for your insurance company. But nothing really will happen. All it is that it will be on file. But by you reaching out to the other driver's insurance, if they're the ones that hit you, it allows you to report it on the spot at the time of the event. you can submit images, videos, anything you have. A lot of companies already will send you links to submit and upload those pictures or any information that they require to get the claim going. When you have everything and you can provide all the data, it pretty much guarantees that they'll cover any damages to you or your vehicle. Now here's the key part, and here's one thing that I failed to do for most of the accidents. I think I've only been to one doctor for one of the accidents. I was rear-ended. It was pretty bad. It was a hit and run. It was out of state, and I did see a doctor, chiropractor, everything checked out okay. But you should go get checked out by a doctor immediately, because you might not feel, or you might think there's nothing wrong because of the adrenaline at the moment, but that next day or 2-3 days later, you might start to feel the effects of that incident. Even if it's not a horrendous car accident, just whiplash itself can significantly affect somebody, and it all depends on their body type. It could be tall, short, lightweight, overweight, whatever it is, it'll affect you differently. So it's a good idea to get checked out. Now, if something comes back that there is something wrong, or an injury has happened or occurred that you need to get, patched up or worked on, that's another topper for your case to have the other driver's insurance pay for. Now, here's the wire display on the road. I've never had to reach out to a lawyer or a law office and state that I've been in an incident, even if I felt that I was a little hurt, because a lot of companies, majority of the lawyers, will go after injuries. They'll go after insurances to get the maximum payout to cover for injuries, damages to vehicle, anything else they can tack on. They'll try to pursue for the maximum amount. Now, after it's all said and done, you might come out with a little out-of-pocket money, but it would also depend on how severe the incident was. Now, small example, I recently was in an incident where a car rear-ended a driver. That driver bounced off the center divider, rear-ended me, and it did damage my truck. Not enough that I can't drive it, I still operated. The tailgate got a little bent, and the bumper's a little messed up. Not a huge dent, but it is dented or bent, I should say. The insurance that the driver carries is trying to tell me that they don't cover, that their coverage doesn't cover that incident, that they can't repair my truck, basically, or they're not going to pay for repairs. The claim adjuster's suggestion was that I go through my insurance, get it repaired, and they can try to pursue. But he's basically telling me, we're not going to help you out, we're not going to do anything. Now, if I had been in a serious injury where there was a report, police report, doctor report, something that stated that I was hurt, I can tell that they would have changed their tune. But speaking to a law office already, they are going to pursue and help me basically get the money I'm entitled for, or entitled to repair my truck. If they go after more, so be it. And that's on the company for not trying to help me out. And again, this is the first time in my life that I've been in an incident where an insurance company doesn't want to pay or take care of one of the parties involved in the incident. I've had a vehicle need up to $8,000 in repairs, bodywork and labor, parts and labor, and it was approved. And the vehicle itself was only worth like $14,000. So there are insurances or companies that will go over a certain threshold and get that vehicle repaired without damaging it out. And I never thought about it. Usually if a vehicle suffers a large amount of damage, that the value of the repair is over 50 or 60% of the value of the vehicle, they'll try to just cash you out or pay out the vehicle, get the vehicle and salvage it, because they'd rather just get you the vehicle than pay for repairs that will be almost the same amount as that vehicle. I don't know how all that works exactly. Again, I'm not an expert. I don't work for an insurance company. But again, those are the steps that you should look into doing if you have an incident. the last step, you want to try to make sure you go through all the steps so everything's on file. You filed your claim, you took care of yourself, you submit everything you need to submit, and get what you need to get out of it. And by that I mean make sure you take care of yourself, make sure that your vehicle gets repaired. Now, in the situation that you don't have insurance, it shouldn't really matter if somebody hit you, because their insurance, even at minimum, at least in California, liability insurance is supposed to cover, you know, other insured drivers or other uninsured drivers, any other driver basically, that except for you, in the case of an accident. And I believe that's why there's that requirement, is that you have at least liability, so that if you hit somebody, someone, or something, your insurance will cover it and pay for it. Now, your own personal vehicle or body might need to pay out of pocket or figure out how to get those items repaired. But that's where I personally feel like you should look into always having full coverage. That's my opinion. Just like a lot of people don't like to have life insurance, I feel like that also applies to that. Have your own life insurance. But without getting too straight into that conversation, again, take care of yourself, go through all the steps, make sure to reach out to all parties that you need to reach out to so that you get covered, you get your vehicle repaired. Worst case scenario, hopefully it doesn't happen to you. You need to reach out to a law firm to cover you, protect you, fight for you. Hope you guys enjoy this video. If this helped you in any way, help somebody that you think might need it, somebody that might have just been in an accident, they don't know what to do, share this video, give me a like, leave me a comment if you want to touch base. I'll catch you guys on the next video. Thank you very much. Have a good afternoon.